We are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fourth and final segment today, and that is going to be around some news around the league, some storylines I would like to follow a little bit. Just going to move this a tiny bit if you're watching on live or on YouTube. So, we're just going to talk about some news around the league, what's going on with that, and some stories I thought were interesting and notable. So, here we go. So first, we're going to talk about Tampa. They brought back a familiar face, bringing back Francisco Mejia on a minor league contract with an invitation to spring training. Mejia was released by the Angels a few days ago after they kind of announced that they were letting him go just because they had a good amount of competition at catcher. And they liked him, but they didn't really have a spot for him. So, going back to Tampa for Mejia makes a lot of sense. Tampa knows their guys very well, traded for him in a trade a few years ago, actually. Blanking on the trade right now, but because AJ Preller made so many blockbuster trades. Nice move for Tampa. Sorry, I didn't mean AJ Preller. I meant Eric Neander. Mejia was once with the Padres, so I got it mixed up, but it's whatever. It's a good move for Tampa. I like the fact that they are getting some catching depth. Maybe they see something in him still that they don't want to give up on him. They still think he could be a good MLB player. So good signing by the Rays and a nice shot from Mejia to get back on his feet. So next we're talking about the Giants. Some more pitching woes to the Giants. So Tristan Beck, who is slotted to be their five-starter right now, has an aneurysm in his arm, which is not very good. It's kind of a rare thing. I don't really know how many pitchers get it. He's sidelined for a little while now, of course, but it just adds to the multitude of pitching injuries and pitching woes the Giants have had now. Of course, you have Alex Cobb, who's out the entire first half. You have Robbie Wright, who they traded for, knowing he would be out the first half. You have Keaton Winn, who got injured as well. We're not sure how long he's going to be out. So that's now four guys who are probably going to be big impacts to you that are going to be out for a little bit amount of time. So it's just not a great start for the Giants, but still have Logan Webb. You still have Jordan Hicks, who is a big question mark, of course, but he still is there. They give him the contract for a reason. They're hoping he can be a starter. So, just something I wanted to touch on there about Tristan Beck. Very strange situation, but let's hope Giants fans can get through it, and let's hope the Giants can get through it, because once their pitching additions come back, I think they'll be a pretty good second half team, but that's not for a little while now. So going from an NL West team to a different one, Max Muncy. He was hit by a pitch yesterday. Sorry, I don't know why that messed me up so bad. And after X-rays, they came back negative. They revealed that he has a contusion after getting hit by the pitch. He'll be out a few days, most likely. Actually, there's an updated on it right now, so let's read it. Max Muncy said X-rays on his hand came back negative. Said the swelling has gone down significantly, but still hasn't tried swinging a bat. So there you go. Not great for the Dodgers, but it doesn't seem like a big deal. But it is notable because he is older. He didn't have the greatest season the year ago. So hoping he can bounce back from this. He's a big part of that Dodgers lineup, one of the most underrated. They have all those stars, but it's guys like him, Will Smith, who really keep it together, really keep it consistent. So looking forward to see what happens with Muncy, and hopefully he gets out of this and gets better. So but it is notable. Again, hoping he improves. So So next we have the Padres. According to reports, they are interested in another outfield addition. This makes a lot of sense, as they currently only have 3 outfielders on their starting 40-man roster, which is just insane to think about. They have Fernando Tatis Jr., of course, Jose Azocar, and Jurickson Profar, who was just re-signed. So they obviously need another outfielder after trading Soto and Trent Grisham in the same trade, getting rid of 2 of your outfielders on the depth chart already there. The 2 guys I would look at right now is Tommy Pham and Adam Duvall. They're the top free agent outfielders left. They could swing a trade, but I think they're more looking for the free agency market at this point. Obviously, Pham has a history with the Padres, played for them for a few years. Was pretty good. Was kind of up and down, though. Did have some eyesight problems there, apparently, which he did get fixed. So maybe if he does come back, he'll be better. He apparently doesn't have an offer still, according to Bob Nightingale of USA Today, which is just That's insane to think about. He was so good last year with both the Mets and the Diamondbacks. Kind of a season out of nowhere, after coming back from the whole slapping thing. Kind of remade his career a little bit and remade his reputation as a guy who works hard, which he always was, but I think it's good now that he was getting it out into the public. So, I'd look at Tommy Pham as a potential addition to the Padres. I would assume he probably starts in left field or so. So, definitely looking at that. Again, Adam Duvall, same thing. We don't. It was a report that came out, I think it was a month ago or at this point or something, that he was between the Red Sox and the Angels for a deal. And obviously nothing has come to fruition since that. So, I'm definitely looking for Duvall and seeing what happens with him. I think he's a great fit with the Padres. I do. He's a better fielder than Pham. Maybe not as good of a hitter, but he's more versatility as well. Can play center if needed. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens there with both Duvall and Pham. Not only just with the Padres, but what happens with them in general. I think they're both really good players, and I'm super surprised they're still out on the market. So, I'm looking forward to seeing where they sign. And the Padres interested in an outfit addition. Both those guys can make a lot of sense. So, So we're going to talk about two Mets things here because they're related. So the first one is something that broke while I was on stream. I checked it during my break, so I added to the list. Max Kranick is hurt and is going to be out a little while, according to Mets manager Carlos Mendoza. He has a hamstring strain. Kranick was very good in his debut with the Mets. Was in the running for the 5-starter job after Kodai Senga had the injury and is going to be out for a little bit. So it's just another blow to the pitching staff for the Mets. He grew up a Mets fan as well, Kranick, in Pittsburgh, which is interesting. So it was a nice storyline to see if he could have pitched for his team he grew up liking. But obviously it's not now. So I think you have to look at guys like David Peterson when he comes back to fill in. He's even hurt as well. Jose Budo, Tyler McGill, who I think is probably the leading candidate right now, maybe in the prospects like Christian Scott, Mike Vassell, Blade Tidwell. So you have to look at those guys. And it plays into my next point, which I also had, which is that the Mets, apparently according to The Athletic, the Mets are in contact with free agent starting pitchers. Not in contact where they're working out a contract or trying to get them, but they're in contact in case one of their prices do fall. And I think at this point, they might have to consider making a move. Now, if I'm the Mets, I'm not making a small move. I'm not going for a guy like Lorenzen, maybe even a guy like Syndergaard or someone like that. To me, I've said this for a little while now, even when I didn't have the show. Jordan Montgomery, I really want Jordan Montgomery. He makes so much sense with the Mets. He has history playing in New York. He's shown he can do it on the big stage. He doesn't have a qualifying offer attached to him, which is something the Mets really look for, and kind of is a turn away because they want to save their draft picks. At this point, his contract's definitely going to fall. I don't know what other suitors are out there, probably except the Red Sox and maybe the Cubs or the Giants. So, if I'm the Mets, I'm going for Jordan Montgomery, especially with these with the injuries they've had. It also gets you another pitcher for next year. You don't have many guys. You have Sang under control, and that's it. You would have him now. You would have Montgomery, which is a nice start to next year. Your prospects would come up like Matt Vassell, like Christian Scott, like Blade Tidwell. So, you need the Mets. I'm glad they're in contact with the free agent starters, but if I'm them, I'm signing Jordan Montgomery today. I don't think that's just spur of the moment thing. I wanted this for a little while now, and I think he makes a lot of sense. But going to different stuff now. Charlie Culberson, he made the transition from a free agent infielder with the Braves to a super utility with the Braves. To now a relief pitcher, which is an interesting one. But if he's successful, go ahead. So today he had his first inning, outing, and he pitched a scoreless inning. So, hey, great for him. I mean, this is, of course, a Braves thing. Getting a super utility guy and making him a reliever, something only the Braves would do. Just that organization is incredible. So, strange. But, hey, I mean, if Culberson can become actually a solid reliever, I think will be one of the better storylines in the league and would be really, really cool. So, looking forward to seeing what happens there. The Tigers, they claimed Buddy Kennedy off waivers today. Not going to spend much time on this, but just nice step move for them. Add to that third base position. They added Gio Urshela there, of course, so just some nice depth behind them. I doubt he makes the MLB roster, but some good depth in the minor leagues behind Urshela. And, just good depth overall. Good teams have depth, and I think the Tigers, are trying to get that organization to be new again. And, I think that starts with good depth moves, which they're doing. Next, we have more news about Kike Hernandez. Of course, he did sign with the Dodgers, and that was a big deal because it came out of nowhere after they traded Manuel Margot to Minnesota after acquiring him from the Rays. So there was a report that came out from Ken Rosenthal, who is extremely reliable, that it was the Dodgers, Padres, Giants, and it was the Padres, Giants, Twins, and one other team that were the Angels as well. Sorry, that were involved in his final decision, and instead he then went to the Dodgers. And Rosenthal said that this came together quickly, and that his report was still right. He decided at the end he wanted to go back to the Dodgers. Apparently today that was not true. Kike Hernandez said on Foul Territory, which the show Rosenthal is also on a lot, so that's interesting, that he was between the Yankees and the Dodgers for his contract. So that was interesting. I think he's a good fit for the Dodgers, bringing super utility and nice depth to them. So, yeah, I thought it was a good move for the Dodgers, and it's interesting that he was picking between the Yankees and the Dodgers. I don't know how he would have fit with the Yankees, but, interesting thing here. So next, we're going to talk about some spring training games quickly, but before we do that, we're going to talk about one specific spring training game, and that is the Pirates vs. Orioles. Now, you may be asking yourself, why are we talking about the Pirates vs. Orioles? Who cares? That's such a random game. But, so first, it was Paul Skeens pitching for the Pirates. So that was something notable. And today, he went one inning and gave up no hits, no runs, no walks, but also no strikeouts. So, so that was something. You also had Corbin Burns pitching for the Orioles. He did not pitch very well. He pitched 1 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, and a walk. And the 3-run home run was to former top pick Henry Davis of the Pirates. So it's just a game showing off a lot of the talent for these young teams. Also, Jackson Holliday played for the Orioles, top prospect in baseball. Played second base and got 2 hits, bringing his spring training OPS to 788. It was just a fun game with young players. Again, Henry Davis kind of overshadowed with Skeens and Jackson Holliday. He had a big home run off Corbin Burns, which is very, very good for his future. Jackson Holliday also had an RBI triple in the game. And in the end, the Orioles won 9-8. So, so good for the Orioles, winning the game of kind of the youngsters, and just an interesting game. A lot of young storylines there, and wanted to talk about it. Next, we have the other games that happened. The Phillies blew out the Blue Jays 5-0. Same with the Twins and the Braves. Braves won. They also had another game playing versus the Rays. It was a split squad game, of course. They beat them 12-9. That was on the back of an Ronald Acuna RBI double. You also had the Nationals beating the Cardinals 3-1. Kyle Gibson did not have a great start in his first start with the Cardinals, so that's not great for Cardinals fans, but let's hope he's better than the season. Red Sox beat the Tigers 5-2. Marlins, Yankees, Dodgers, Reds, and Mets Astros are going to be later today. I'll be watching the Mets Astros, of course. The Rockies are beating the Cubs 5-3. Padres beating the A's 4-3. White Sox are beating the Royals 2-0. Brewers beating the Rangers 3-2. Angels 3-0 Guardians. The bases are actually loaded now for Anthony Rendon, so we'll see if he can do anything with that. D-backs are beating the Giants 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. And the Mariners are beating the White Sox in a different game 4-3. So, those are the spring training games right now. For the Guardians right now, it's Tanner Burns versus Anthony Rendon for the bases loaded. I don't think we'll have enough time to go over it, but hopefully something will happen with that after this stream is done. So, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means a lot. Thank you so much. Hope you liked the show today. Remember, gsmcpodcast.net to donate. Keep liking, subscribing, watching, viewing, commenting, all that good stuff. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the stuff where you can get content updates, Twitch as well. And, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Thank you. Bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go.